Welcome back to the channel. The Olympic Games are over, and we are looking forward to LA 2028. But we have Ghanaian athletes at LA 2028. Today, we're going to look at what went wrong in Paris, why we did not get any medal. The last medal we got was in bronze at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. How can we make sure 2028 is better? I'll be doing this today with my colleague Delali. Welcome, Delali.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be around.
Yeah. So, subscribe if you haven't. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. So, Delali, let's dive right into it. Where do you think we went wrong?
A couple of things didn't go well for us. It started with the number of athletes we went with it. The Olympic Games is in a way that the number of competitions you're able to participate in increases your chances of winning medals. Take away the 4x100, and that's why we went with 4 people, because the 4x100 is a team sport that, sometimes you are qualified for one sport, you get the opportunity to go with a lot of them. So imagine we didn't qualify for the 4x100, then individual sports was going to be only 3, because it was high jump, 100 meters, and then 200 meters. So first of all, it started with the number of competitions you compete in, or the number of disciplines you qualify for. And also, if you narrow it to Ghana, we are known for what? Ghana has won 5 medals at the Olympic Games. I think 4 has come from boxing. So it means our chances of winning a medal
Was that boxing?
always lies in boxing. This time around, 0.
And we didn't qualify for football. We've not qualified for football
For a
since
while
2004, the last time it happened.
And,
But
and it's the process. I think the process with which the competition we didn't qualify. Morocco went. Look at Morocco's performance.
Yeah.
Morocco, Egypt were in the same process. They went all the way to the semi-final. So it should tell you the kind of competition, like the kind of opponents you face before you qualify from our region.
let's look at those who were there.
Yeah.
Before we look at why we don't have a lot of
Okay.
other sports disciplines being involved in the 4x100 relay team, and we'll start off from there. But they faltered once again. In Tokyo, it was the same issue. Even in Bahamas, when they were qualifying for the
first race,
they had to run again to correct their mistakes. And then we hear that this year we've had 4 relays, 5 different coaches. Who do we blame for this?
Who takes the coaches there? The person who decides who becomes the coach of the team is it? And I think we just have to do certain things, right? It's like we just can't go back and be doing things the same way and expect results.
Oh yeah.
I've always said that the athletics itself, especially when it comes to the 4x100, you are as good as your baton exchange, because that's the most important part. The fact that Jamaica, with all these high quality athletes, didn't make it to the final should tell you that it's not just about
It's high stakes.
good. It's not just about being fast.
And China winning.
Good. It's not just about being fast. It's about, because you know that China had no athletes in the single race events, like 100 meters, 200 meters. But they went all the way to the finals.
Yeah.
That should tell you that the relay is not only about being fast. Because you need to stay in zones, you need to make sure that you are
Lane violation,
good.
baton
Good.
handover.
You need
There are
to make
so
sure
many
that
technicalities
good.
you need to
You
get
make
right.
sure that you are giving the baton to the person at the right time. Because it's about giving the baton and also receiving it and maintaining your pace. You see, so if you don't do all these things, you would always struggle. And it's about coaching. Me, I've said that it will always be on the coaching.
The back always ends with the
Good.
manager.
When it comes to changing the baton, it will always be on the coaching, because it's a technique. If I'm not a cameraman, you put me behind the camera to shoot it.
You will not do your best.
Good. So you need somebody to coach the person to do the right thing. And if we don't look at it, and it's also a team sport.
Yeah.
So once it's a team sport, you need a bit of consistency. And if we fail to do that, we would always go to these big games and struggle. These big competitions and struggle. And sports is in a way that if you don't train, and I've always said this, that when it comes to athletics, there's no underdog story in it. Especially when it comes to the track events.
Yeah.
See, there's no amount of prayers that will let me beat Usain Bolt in 100-meter race. if you run better than me, unless you have injury, there's no way I can run better than you. So athletics is in a way that you need to grow, be good at the job. When you get on the track, it will show.
Yeah. And I think on the day before the 4x100 race, the ministry came there and gave them, paid all the arrears to sort of motivate them.
No,
we
that's-
don't learn from our mistakes.
And I
I
told
think
you-
even it happened in 2014.
Yeah.
You gave the Black Stars players everything after they've been fighting for their monies. You now come in there. It was a huge distraction that we did not need. And they repeated the same mistake again.
Even you see, even with the Black Stars own, the money can even motivate them to go and play.
I don't think it does.
No, I'm coming. See,
It's a distraction.
I'm making a point. Football, there's underdog story. Like there's football. There can be underdogs. Like you can go and play against Brazil and you win because the football supports but athletics it doesn't.
Because it takes years of training.
Good.
And you can't even beat that.
No, athletics is not in a way that you give me money and I'll be. You see, no motivation can let me beat.
If you are
mass,
good,
like,
yeah.
there's no motivation. So that is it. At least football, you can put good. You can put. Mourinho can coach an average players and go and win coach Inter and go and win Champions League. Football supports underdog. Athletics it doesn't. If you can't jump 2 feet,
I think
There's no
because
way you
of
can
the
jump it.
individualism involved in that sport.
yes. So once it's an
If
individual
that
sport,
player alone is not
Wasa,
up
wasa.
to it,
So
so that's
any
why
last-minute
that's
money
why
go change the
investment in
lesson.
those things
Good.
is very important because you
Good.
can't just get up and expect the players
Good.
or the teams.
be good.
To be
You can't
good.
just wake up one day and say me bought because your mom made $2 million. So, and I think that's what we have to start.
That's
See,
wrong.
we need to be intentional about these things, and it not be difficult to see there. And I was making an argument on social media that people didn't. I got people understanding, others also didn't understand. See, Ghana, as we are here right now, we have Legon, a very standard track. Legon is standard, but we can't use. A lot of people that really need it cannot access it. Why? Because it's expensive. There's no proper government structure to make sure that these young athletes that are coming from primary school, secondary school, inter-schools, inter-core, and those small games we do, get the opportunity to use these facilities at the highest standard. You saw that inter-core, that's a whole greater Accra. They were doing at Elwak.
Elwak.
See, that's
Elwak
Elwak
that is not maintained properly.
That Elwak thing, they have to close that Elwak thing. Like true, I'm telling you. Like we shouldn't do sports that if we really care about people and the students and their well-being, we shouldn't be doing sports there. But the teachers cannot also pay for Potema. They cannot pay for Elwak. They cannot pay for Legon because it's too expensive. What is the use of the government and the sports authorities? If you are going to build the facilities and we can't, and that's also the reason why now, if you are not careful, there will be a time we won't get proper footballers again because we are converting all our Sakura pitches, community pitches to AstroTurf.
Yeah.
When we convert it to AstroTurf, now the community cannot use it again because it becomes expensive for them. Why? You develop you create facilities for people to use it. But right now, when we create the facilities, it becomes expensive for the average Ghanaian that I basically afford it.
Yeah.
What should we do? See, Elwak, the Logan own the government should subsidize it for the young students so that they can use it. Like when there's a competition, government subsidize it for them. They use it, they become better at it. Those are the small ways you can develop. Now, you qualify Olympics and if you are not careful, the next Olympic Games won't qualify.
I was going to that. I think we've talked extensively about all wrong, the coaches, the back ends with the coaches.
Yeah.
Who are those in charge of getting the coaches there? With the case of Rose, she could not get her coach there. And the ministry said they cannot get her coach there because they had already submitted a list. Who submitted the initial list
Without
without the coach of your
Your
high
athlete.
jumper?
you see that thing?
Who is to blame? Who are we going to blame right now for all this? It's a worrying sign. And to my final question to you, LA 28. It will just be 2 years after the World Cup.
Yeah.
Can we get athletes for it? Can Benjamin Azameti still run?
I doubt.
Can Joe Paul still run?
doubt.
He did not qualify for the 200 meters.
I doubt.
Who are those taking over from these guys?
Oh, you see, the truth is that we have young, talented guys. Fuseni, Saminu. Like we have a couple of young guys that boat you. We have a couple of young guys, but all these guys are being trained by these American schools, and they are doing us a huge favor. When it comes to high jump like this, you see that guy that won the did so well at the African Games. We expect him to qualify because he's young. We always have the talent, but I'm saying, you know one thing about Ghana, our performance dip as we are going on. So the last time we went to the finals, with this one we dropped the baton. Next time we won't qualify. That's typical of Ghana because
So we are going backwards.
yes, that's how we are. Can't we to realize it? That's when it comes to this sporting, like you're back from to Zongo. And I have this take, it's controversial, but I'll say it. I think Ghana is able to produce players to compete for Black Stars and other things because of the private football clubs in Ghana. Look at any sport that starts and ends with the government. We've never produced proper athletes.
Because people think it's for the government, it's not for me, and they will not do it well, or
You see,
or
so
utilize it.
we are
to
even
its
getting
best.
players for black football because of the clubs in Ghana. Because the clubs will train the players. See, Kudus is for right to dream. Because so the players, the other clubs, Nations, Dreams FC, the Division 2 clubs, they train these players, and then the nation comes together and come and use them to play. When we leave the nation to develop somebody like boxing, athletics, have you seen somebody one person doing well for Ghana before?
That's why I hope that the all regional games that Baby Jet is embarking on.
But
on
you see,
air.
that one too is a private person project,
Yeah.
and he would develop the talent, he would identify them. But we need,
more input.
you see, what we need from the government is conscious. We need an athletic club in
You've
Ghana.
established that the government can't maintain it, so it's the private individual.
Private individual will invest in athletics.
They will not. The understanding hasn't gotten there yet. But
Yeah.
I saw this video, and it should be rolling on the screen right now, of this pole vaulter doing pole vault, and he fell on some mattresses, but it was amazing. I don't know if you saw it. It was
I saw it online. Yeah, see, the talent is
the
always
talent
there.
is there. It's obvious the talent is there.
Because your boy was jumping in UCC. See, the talent there.
The talent is there.
has always
Unfortunately,
been there.
we are suffering from not utilizing the talent to
Yeah.
our best potential. I think this is where we get into our discussion. The problems are huge, and LA 28, we might probably not have an athlete there.
Yeah,
The
but-
World Athletics Championship is just a year away. We'll see what happens when we get there. We'll see if we'll have a substitute for Benjamin Azameti, Joseph Polamo, all those guys who are growing as the years go by. But in your opinion, let me know in the comments box, how can we get better as a country looking to do well in other sporting disciplines at the Olympics? Football has become the focus, but it is also not giving us the rewards we invest much in. Athletics,
You see, the football, we don't invest. Me, I call football investment as sponsorship. Now, if you wait, Black Stars is going for
the
competition,
Lally
give them money.
opposes to that.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's-
It's sponsorship.
I'll see you guys in the next one, and let us know your thoughts in the comments box. Enjoy the rest of your day.